Hello, Squirrel Nut here with another video. If you like and enjoy this video, go ahead and share the video. And if you find things like this interesting, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And when you do that, hit that little bell right next to it. And what that will do is it will notify you when I have new content up. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get this started. This is Manjaro 17.0.5, and when you first start it up, you will have a welcome screen like this. And you have your documentations here, your support, and projects if you want to get involved, development, or donate to the project. You do not have to have this up each time. If you don't want it up, you just go ahead and click on this little button here, and then it uses Pacman as the package manager, and I will go ahead and open it. When you first install it, you would want to make sure your Pacman or PaMan is updated. So you go ahead and hit apply, and then put in your password. And it's up to date. And then to get software, you use the PaMan package management, which is this. Sure what happened here, but anyways, it's divided into your accessories, audio and video, your development tools, education, games, so on and so forth. And then it's so you can have groups like your base, which is your base files for the Manjaro, your GNOME files, any Linux tools, so on and so forth. Repositories, you have your core repositories, any extra repositories that you may want to install, and then anything that the community is based on, and then Maltub, and then it has all your installed applications here. And to uninstall it, just go ahead and click on it, and you can either remove or reinstall. You hit back here, and then explicitly installed, and then orphans if you have any files that you no longer need will be here, and then any foreign files, and then your updates here, and then you have your refresh your database, review history, install local packages, your preferences, and about. You have your general preferences that you can change, your official repositories. You can choose mirrors, speed, and then this AUR is community maintained repositories. You can go ahead and enable it if you would like, and then it will actually open up more software to Manjaro. I believe it grabs from the Arch Linux repository, which Manjaro is based upon Arch Linux, and then your cache. And this is actually the Xfce desktop. They have a few other desktop environments that's official. Is the Xfce, which is here, the KDE, Plasma, and GNOME, and then they have community support desktop environments, which is your E17, your Mate, LXDE, KDE, so on and so forth. Go ahead and click on the menu here, and you have your favorites, your recently used, shows your all. If you want to put anything in your favorites, all you do is right click on it, select what you want, right click, add to favorites, desktop, add to panel, edit application if you want to edit any of the runtime environment. And then on your desktop you can right click and you have open new window, create launcher, URL, folder, document, paste, terminal. You can run your terminal. You can run your file manager as a root, which can be dangerous. It's basically your administration account. You search, arrange desktops, so on and so forth, and then you go down to applications, and you have all of your applications here, your accessories, education, games, basically the same thing that you get when you click here. And then you can change your settings here. You can change your appearance, which say for instance you like kind of like a dark theme. You can select this and have a dark theme, and then you can change what your icons looks like. If you look up here, change it to this next one down, you can see that your icons change, your icon color and icons also changed. And then you can scroll down, say for instance you kind of like a blue for your folders and so on and so forth. You can choose that, and then you change your fonts here to different fonts, and then your settings, toolbar style. You can use icons, text under icons, so on and so forth. You can select a menu and buttons, sounds, so on and so forth. And then your desktop, you can change your background right here. It has a few selections that you can change to, and it grabs that underneath your background folders, underneath user share backgrounds. Or if you want, you can change this folder, and then the color for a solid color, it has this type. And then your file manager, you can change how it looks. Your display right here, and then the side panel, you can make it smaller, normal, so on and so forth. Behavior, and then your advanced settings. Notifications, you can enable or disable different notifications for different software. Your panel, if you look, it's down here, your panel. You can change that to vertical. It changes it up here. Desk bar, you can tell that it changed. And then you can also add a panel if you want. You just click on that, and it's right here. And then you can change the length of the panel, and the number of rows of the panel, and then the row size, that's how large or small you want your icons. And then if you just like to have just one panel, you hit this delete, and you can remove that. And you can change the appearance. You can change it as like a solid color. Say for instance you want to change it green, you can change it green. And then this alpha is as you can look right down here, the opacity comes and goes, and then the opacity you can change it like 25% when you enter your panel, goes down. and then the leave, it's the opacity is like 19%, and then you go down and it goes back up to 100%. Preferred applications, if you want your web, you have a different web browser or reader. Utilities, if you have a different file manager you want to use other than Thunder. Terminal emulator, if you have like a different terminal that you like to use. Window manager, you can change the style to your window manager up here. And then you can change your the font of the title, and then change the title alignment, right, left, center, so on and so forth. Keyboard, have all your keyboard shortcuts, and then shade window, you can program a keyboard shortcut to do a shade window or something or whatever. And if you don't like Alt 4 to close the window, you can change that, so on and so forth. Your focus on your window manager, you can click the focus follows mouse, so on and so forth. And then you have your advanced settings for your window manager. And then window manager tweaks, you have cycling. You can select or deselect these. Your focus, you can have different focus. Accessibility, workspace, so on and so forth. And then your workspaces is this down here. If you want more than one workspace, say for instance you want 6, you'll have 6 different workspaces. Or if you just want 2 or just one workspace or 2, and then you can change your margins in the workspace, and then your display, keyboard, mouse, touchpad, power management, removable drives, accessibility, add remove software. You click on that and it brings up the Pac-Man or Padman, that you can add or remove software. And then your firewall configuration. Your greeter settings is basically when you if you log out, you can change what it looks like. You can change the theme, icon, default user image. You can change that if you want. If you have like an image you like to use for a default image, you can change the panels. You can either add more panels to it, or if you don't want like the clock on there, you can remove the clock, so on and so forth. Window position is the little window that has, you can choose your user and your password. You can move that to on the side or down left or middle or whatever. And then the height, horizontal, you can change how big and small it is, and then just miscellaneous stuff. And then the notifier settings, you can check or uncheck unsupported kernels, so on and so forth. Setting manager. This here you can change your local settings, language package. The kernels, if you want to use a different kernel. Right now it's using the default is 4.9.50, but if you want to use the experimental or use a higher one, or for some reason you want to use your lower one, you can install it. And then your user accounts is here. You can add or remove users, or enter, change your picture, and then the time, date, keyboard settings, hardware configuration. Actually, if you have like a this is for proprietary software. Say for instance you have like an ATI graphics card. It has an option that you can install the proprietary software for that. I kind of suggest if you I suggest you use it because you have more of a options of different things to use. And there it goes. Must be my virtual machine. And then you Bluetooth adapters. If you have any Bluetooth adapter, you can change that. Settings editor. You can change the settings like your Thunder program thing. You can go into it and change things in it. And then for all, it has all of the software. Accessories, you have all of your accessory software here. Education, games, it has Steam preloaded if you want, so you can use Steam. Your graphics, your internet, multimedia, Office. It's LibreOffice is installed by default. Your normal settings, your system settings, and then under settings, menu editor, it has everything that's in your menu here, like your graphics. If you want to hide that menu, or if you have a specific application you don't want to show, you can hide that, or do different options when you run the application. And settings, so on and so forth. Whoops, that's your Pac-Man. There's an option somewhere, can't remember where it was, that you can turn off different things like your Bluetooth. If you don't have a Bluetooth, you can turn the software off so you don't use the software. For the life of me, I can't remember where it was. But anyways, there's a place in here that you can turn off like your Bluetooth software, that if you don't have Bluetooth, why run the software. And then I forgot to tell you, in your panel you can like add items. You can add different things, like for instance CPU frequency monitor. If you want to monitor to your CPU, well, that's probably because I'm running it under a virtual machine. Let's see here, generic monitor, yeah, there you go. And then it puts it down here, and if you don't want it anymore, you right click, hit remove, or if you don't want it there, you can move it like right here, and it'll go right here. And then you have your time right here. Oh, I guess it didn't add it, the CPU. But you have your time date right here. You right click and go to properties to change your time zone, the layout, so on and so forth. And then your if you have a laptop, here's your energy, your not energy but your power settings here, and then of course Padman, your volume, your Ethernet, and then your clipboard right here. So let me change this color here. Whoops. Panel, here we go. Appearance. There we go. A little easier to see, but your clipboard, you have a clipboard history. Right now it's empty. And then your logout button, you can log out, restart, shut down, suspend, hibernate, so on and so forth. And then also you have it right here, log out. And then you can lock your computer and then switch users here. And right here, since I have it's dual booted, this is my Windows partition. You can go inside here and access your Windows partition. But yeah, that's pretty much Manjaro in a nutshell. Next, I will show you where to get it, how to put it on a USB stick, and how to install it. Okay, to get Manjaro, what you do is just fire up your favorite web browser, go to manjaro.org, get Manjaro, and you have your current releases, which is your Xfce edition. Oh, as you can see, it says the newer kernel is available. Please update. That's, you right click, go in the kernels, and when you can download and install the kernel. But anyways, it has the KDE edition, the GNOME edition, the Architect ISO edition, desktop I should say, and that's pretty much it for the official ones. And then for the community releases, you have the Budgie desktop, the Cinnamon desktop, Deepen desktop, the i3, LXDE, the LXQT Calamares net install, and then you have your mate, and that is pretty much it for the different desktop releases. But what you do is go choose your desktop environment and click on 64-bit if you want your 64-bit or 32-bit. Okay, and if torrents is your style, you can scroll down here and download the torrent file to the 32-bit and 64-bit. You just go ahead and choose 64 or 32-bit. You click on it, excuse me, and it will redirect you to sourceforge.net, and you can just go ahead and start downloading the ISO file. And then after that, you just burn it on a CD or I should say DVD nowadays because of the size, and or a USB stick. And then next, I will show you how to put it on a USB stick so you can install Manjaro. Okay, once you have your ISO all downloaded, how you can put it on a USB stick is a program called Etcher. I will leave the URL down in the show notes. You can install it for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. Okay. What you do is you select your image, go to wherever you download it, select it, open, and then you select your drive. Make sure you select a empty USB drive, because if you do not, it will erase everything that is on the USB stick. Select the drive. No removable drive selected. Okay, I am not sure what's exactly going on. It might be because of my virtual box. Anyways, it will list all your USB drives. You go ahead and select your blank USB drive, and you click on Flash, and it will put all of the installation files on the USB stick. And then next I will show you how to install it alongside Windows, Mac, or another Linux distro. Okay, when you have your installation in and your computer all started up, it will bring you to this option. You can change your keyboard, time zone, language, so on and so forth, or you can boot into Manjaro or install a BIOS system on it. What we want to do is just go ahead and boot into Manjaro. Okay, once you have it up and running, you can try it a little bit more if you're not sure if you want to pull the trigger and actually install it on your system. If you do decide you want to install it, all you do is double click on this installation script, and then you want to choose your language, choose your time zone. I'm in Central Time Zone. If you click at different areas, it goes to different cities. Why it does that, I don't know. Just make sure you have the correct time zone at least, or can change the language again, or the numbers and dates, how it's shown. You can change that here as well. And then the region, America, Africa, Europe, whatever. And then your keyboard's set up. Your partitions you can install alongside your operating system that you have on your system, or you can replace a specific partition, or you can erase the entire disk and have nothing but Manjaro on there. Or if you want multiple partitions on it, you go ahead and select this. But today we are installing alongside Windows. You go down here, you have your current setup, and before and after here. You want to click on this part right here. Yeah, this part. And then you can slide it more for Manjaro or more for whatever you have on your system. Once you're happy with what you want, you just go ahead and click on Next, and then you set up your initial user. and then whatever you want your login to be, and then the name of your computer. You can name it whatever, Squirrel Nut, server, Manjaro or Linux, whatever. And then you choose your password. And then if you want to log in automatically without asking for the password, or if you want to choose a different password for the administration account, you go ahead and put that here. And if you just want to use your same password as you normally use, you just select that, and then you hit next. And then the summary is your time zone, your language, number, dates set, your keyboard, how your partition is before and then after, and then resize the partition, so on and so forth. Click on next, and you just want asking you that if you do install it, you cannot make any changes. And before you install, I cannot highly say this enough, that you need to back up any important information. So if something happens, well, of course, you have a backup to replace it. And if you're happy, just go ahead and click install. And then what it is doing, it's resizing your partition, making two different partitions, one for Manjaro, one for your other operating system. And it's creating it, and so on and so forth. This may take a little while depending on your hardware. I'm not going to go ahead and force you to look at it, so what I'm going to do is stop this video and then continue it when it's done installing. Okay, when it's done installing, it's just is all done. But you can go ahead and make sure restart now is selected and hit done. Okay, when you remove your installation media and restart your computer, every time you start your computer, you will run into this grub bootloader. You can go ahead and choose Manjaro, advanced options for Manjaro, Windows 7, or you can do a memory test. And Windows 7, of course, it would be either not Windows, but Macintosh if you have a Macintosh, or another Linux distro. But anyways, this is Squirrel Nut signing off.